So in this video, I'm going to be covering my top 5 hints, tips and tricks that I like to use when we take our young twins to Disneyland Paris. My number 1 tip would be to hire a stroller. When we took our twins to Disneyland Paris for the first time last year, they were 4 and they'd been out of a stroller for well over a year at that point, and had no problems walking on long walks or distances with us. When we got to Disneyland Paris, however, it was a total different ball game. We had to hire a stroller. We tried the first day not having one and it was horrendous. We had both girls moaning that they couldn't walk that far. We tried the little tip with saying that every step they take, a little bit of magic goes up their leg because they're in Disneyland Paris. It didn't work and they ended up being quite miserable after the first couple of hours, even though we were taking breaks. So we did hire a stroller. It also is a little bit of a life changer or game changer when you're there, especially for the parents, as 1, it will make your day a hell of a lot easier, so you're not carrying any children around. 2, you can hook your bags over them when they're in the stroller, so you don't have to carry any heavy bags on your back, but also it saves your arms and back. At the first day we also decided to watch Disney Illuminations, and so we'd carried them all day at the park and then we had to hold them up so they could watch the illuminations on the night time. So the second day we went in, we hired 2 strollers. You have them for the entire day, or you can hire them out for 2 days in a row, which meant we could then walk them back to the hotel that we were staying in, which was really handy, and it just saved the holiday. Hire the stroller, or if you have one, take one with you if you can. Create your own itinerary, but make it a flexible one. Don't feel like you have to create a spreadsheet or a really elaborate itinerary and you have to stick to it, and if you don't, things are going to go wrong. We created a really loose itinerary of things that we wanted to do and then spread them out across the days, and then it was really loose in the fact that we knew that one morning we would definitely be in the studios, and then in the afternoon we would definitely be in the main park because of certain parades and the illuminations, and then we switched things about as we went along through the week, and then just gauged how the girls were and what they also wanted to do once we got into the park. So they found out that they really enjoyed meeting characters, so we had to change a couple of things around, and we also had some restaurant reservations that we had to plan the days around a little bit as well to make sure that we were in the correct park at the right time so we could make the reservations. But don't make it so rigid and strict that you feel that your holiday will fall apart if you don't tick everything off that's on the itinerary or stick to it. Just make it really loose. But it also gives you the chance to plan your time, make sure that you get in the things that you want to do, which is the most important thing. So if there is something that you really want to do, pop it on the itinerary, move it around if you need to, but at least keep it on there so you know that you can aim to meet the thing that you would like to do the most. Quietest times that we found are between January and April. The queues do tend to be a little bit quieter, and so is a really nice way to introduce children to Disney and then to encourage them just to learn patience. It's one of my little sayings that one of my twins has at the moment is, "Mommy, I am working on my patience for Disney." She did struggle. Hopefully this time when we go, we are planning to go when it's in quieter season and out of holiday time, just so that we can enjoy it a little bit more and the queues aren't too long. Download the Disneyland Paris app. I downloaded the Disneyland Paris app a couple of months out before we went to Disney, one so that I could attach our holiday booking to it, but also just to check out ride times throughout the day so I could kind of gauge where to be at the right time for the lowest queue times. So you can check that out at any point. It gives you live updates on what the queue times are for each ride, which is really good. But what we mainly used it for is for the meet and greets. So as I said previously, when we were in the park, our girls really enjoyed meeting characters. They loved seeing them in the parade, but to meet one, they loved. So we use that app heavily just to find out where the characters are and what time they're going to be about, but also for the main characters that are in designated areas daily. That was really handy to find out the queue times for that. So Mickey Mouse would be the main one that we went to. The girls absolutely love it. I'll insert pictures for you to have a look at. And we found, given a really handy tip actually, so even though the app will tell you what time the attraction opens to meet certain characters, the top tip that would then add to that would be to get there just about 20 to 30 minutes before that queue time officially opens. We queued on the first day to meet Olaf, so we arrived at the designated time. So we checked the app, it told us to start queuing from 10 o'clock, so we got there for 10 o'clock and the queue was already snaking in its queue and was roughly about an hour wait on the outside. So in total, time that we queued for Olaf was about 2 hours, which was fine. We were inside for majority of it, but again, it was a really, really long queue to meet Olaf for a good interaction of about 5 minutes and lots of photos from it. I do have a video going into more detail about the app and all of the aspects about it, so if you do want to check that out, I'll leave it here for you. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.